Some of the things I did to attract more money into my life and pay off my extreme $40,000+ worth of debt. Well, I did a lot of things, okay? And I wanted to share some more with you because someone asked. So the first one that came to mind when I was thinking about what can I share with you other than doing a whole course on how to attract money into your life and pay off debt. What is the first thing that I can share with you in a 5-minute video or whatever this is going to be? The first thing I would say is you have to change your view of yourself. Now, this feels like not so tangible, but it really is the first step because I identified as a person in debt. I grew up with my parents saying they can't afford this, they had to sell a car to pay rent, they were crying about bills. It was really hard and it was a lot to take in for a little person. And so my first debt was my car loan. I had to buy a car at 19 and I had to take out a loan, and that was $5,000. So as soon as I got into that debt, that's where everything, I identified with being in debt. I never got out of that debt until a few years ago. It just kept getting higher and higher and bigger, and I got more credit cards. I traveled with credit cards and things like that. So I identified as a poor person because that's what I grew up believing. I identified as someone who's in debt. I'll never have enough money. So what did I do? I didn't work hard enough. So I always had part-time jobs and I spent more than I earned. Basically, that's it. So once I shifted my identity to decide, no, I am deserving and I'm worthy. So it's such a core thing. Being in debt is nothing to do with money. That's the hardest realization to make. You will realize if you are in debt right now and you're wanting to get out of it, think about how much you value yourself, how much you love yourself. And I guarantee there's something missing in that area of your life and that's what's keeping you in this debt, because you don't feel worthy of living in overflow or abundance or having more. Because it's all just pieces of paper or numbers on a screen. And we sometimes sabotage ourselves by spending too much, spending way more, going out too much, or buying the purse or the clothes that you don't really need, because that will keep you in this scarcity victim state. So what I did was I shifted my identity. I was like, no, I am not this person anymore. I'm not a person that's in debt, even though I was in debt and it took me some time to get out of it, but not too long, but my whole identity changed. And there's people who are in debt and they have no shame about it. It doesn't bother them. And they attract more money and more things into their life. But basically your identity has to shift. So this relates to your self-concept. So how you view yourself. So when you walk into the supermarket, who are you? Are you the one that you're looking at the bottom shelf, seeing the cheapest price item and wanting the premium item, but choosing the cheapest one because that's who you are? Even though it's only maybe 50 cents difference or a small difference, I had to view myself as someone who invited luxury into my world. I had to see myself as a better person. So that is the first thing that you need to do. When you're in debt, you need to look at yourself and see, do you love yourself? Do you really feel like you're worthy of those brand new towels? Look at your towels. Look at your wardrobe. Look, how long have you, when was the last time you bought new underwear? And these are really simple changes that get you shifted into a new state of being. And then it makes it easier to attract more money. Because when you're in this state of being where you're in overflow and abundance, you'll pick up on the fact that you are still paying for a subscription that you didn't even know about, or your car insurance is more expensive. You've moved and you forgot to change it, and then it ends up being less expensive, and you might not have picked up on that because you think, oh no, everything's just too much for me, so I'm not even going to bother changing my policy to my new address so that it'll probably go up. No, it goes down. And, oh, okay, I'm in overflow. I'm receiving more. These are the little things when you change your mind, your self-concept, when you view yourself as an abundant person, when you don't see the world in scarcity. This is what shifted everything for me. I started seeing my debt not as a scary thing, not as a shameful thing, not as this terrible thing that I've done, as just numbers, and I want to get them down. That's it. I want to get them down. They're numbers. There's a few things there. And money, a bill comes in. Ooh, that's good. Are you grateful for the bills that come in? Because when you get an electricity bill, how do you feel? Do you feel amazing because, oh, awesome, I live in a great house, I keep warm or cool or whatever it is, the lights are on? Or are you like, oh my God, electricity is expensive at the moment? Or taxes. I had a massive tax bill this recent tax year, and it was a bit of a shock. I wasn't expecting it to be so high, but I realized that's okay. That's because I'm earning money, right? I'm grateful to pay tax. You have to think of it like that. That's how someone in abundance thinks. They say, oh, that's a bill, got to pay it. That's normal. That's what happens when you live in abundance. You have bills. It's like I was very scared of I was scared of money. I had a very bad relationship to money. So I'd ask you what your relationship is to money, and do the things like money wants to help me make a positive impact in the world. Write it down, say the affirmations, start feeling like money is this great thing that you're besties with. It helps, it really does help. That would be the first thing I would do to change. If you're in debt and you're scared and you're thinking, how am I going to get out of this? What am I supposed to do? You first have to work on your mindset and think and just breathe and see yourself as a person who is in overflow, as in abundance, and change your self-concept. Yes, the debt is there. I know how crippling it is. I know how painful it is to feel like you don't have enough, but you need to shift into the new reality where you do have enough, which is living in the end. Even when you don't, you have to imagine and walk around like that's how you feel. And I'm not saying go and buy a whole bunch of stuff, because people who have lots of money go and buy. A lot of people with lots and lots of money actually aren't that showy. They're not wearing the big designer stuff because they don't care. It's the people get in debt to buy those designer bags and designer clothes and things like that. So I wouldn't go out and spend all your money on, 2 tickets to Vegas or whatever. Don't do that, because that'll make you more in scarcity, but you need to elevate your feeling. You need to do little things around the house. If you can get those really nice towels on sale so that you feel like you're in a luxury vibe, those are the things that'll help you feel more like you're in an abundance mindset instead of scarcity. And then you'll start seeing things differently, attracting more things in. You never know, like a side hustle pops up, or you get an inheritance, or you get a payout from your old job. This happened to me. I got a payout, a redundancy payout of shares because I got made redundant from my old job. Then I got given the shares back, which was around $20,000 out of nowhere. And I didn't know I was getting that. They told me that like months later after I'd been made redundant. It was amazing. So that's one thing you can do to release scarcity and attract more money into your life and get out of your debt. Please subscribe. Please put a comment down below. I'm feeling like I want to make a course, a little easy course with a few videos on really specific things to do to get out of debt. So let me know if that's something of interest for you, and I'll get into it. But first, do this first and see how you go. Like I said, subscribe, like the video, and put a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.